What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, jumping into DC Comics, this video is going to be covering the Joker issue number 2, and this is all part of the Infinite Frontier line. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with Infinite Frontier, or if you haven't been keeping up with the Joker, go ahead and check out the playlist in the description, as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything that's been going on in this event. Now, this issue does have two parts. In the second part, we're going to be following Punchline. The writers for this are Sam Johns and James Tynion IV. Pencils are by Mika Andolfo and Gilliam March. Now, with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we jump into issue number 2, we pick up where the last issue left off, with Jim Gordon being offered the opportunity to end Joker once and for all, to kill him outright, not only kill him, but get like $25 million at the same time. And this is something Jim Gordon is really debating at this point. You know, that's a lot of money. Not only is it a lot of money, but it's an opportunity to finally get vengeance on somebody that has really destroyed a lot of his family and his life. Now, we don't really know who this blonde woman is yet, but whoever she is, she's very well connected and seemed to be able to point Jim Gordon in the right direction on where the Joker might be. And as we're going through the dialogue of Jim Gordon really struggling with this decision that's before him, we see a woman in a test tube, and we see the Bane Zealots, and they're running some kind of experiment on her. Now, right now it's complete speculation on what they're doing, but we can only assume that whatever this is, it is absolutely no good. Now, Jim Gordon has been waiting outside. While he's been contemplating all of this stuff inside of his head, he's been waiting out on the fire escape, waiting for Batman to arrive. You know, it took Batman longer than usual to arrive because it's not in the old-fashioned, you know, Jim Gordon's literally got a flashlight shining outside his window. But Jim tells him, like, I need to talk to you. Like, we need to go inside and we need to have a discussion. We need to talk about the Joker. And Jim lays it all out on the table for him. At least most of it. He tells him about the woman in the limousine, her strange, silent chauffeur, tells him about the pictures of Joker on the private airfield, and he tells him about Belize. He also tells him about the $25 million when he completes this job, and a bank card with an unlimited spending amount. He lays every little detail except for one. He doesn't tell Batman that this woman wants Jim Gordon to gun down the Joker, because he feels like if he told him, it would mean that he had decided already. And if he tells Batman, Batman might be able to persuade him not to do this, because Batman's had this talk with himself at least a dozen times. And part of Jim Gordon really wants to hear it, but instead all he can hear is his son's voice, telling him that he's trying to get better, and then all he can hear is the Joker laughing. And so he's really leaving the decision up in the air. He hasn't decided what he's going to do yet. He really wants to decide when the time arrives, when he has Joker in front of him, that's when he's going to make his decision. And Batman kind of gives him a blessing here. You know, with everything going on at Arkham Asylum and the Arkham Massacre, leaving Gotham right now is just not an option for Batman. And so even though he badly wants to pursue this, he knows he has to stay behind. But knowing he has someone that he can trust on this mission helps him sleep a little bit better at night. Someone who really understands the danger of who the Joker is. But the real reason Jim Gordon brought him here is because he needs Batman's help. Now, Batman doesn't nearly have the resources he once did, but Jim Gordon knows that even Batman's utility belt has a freaking utility belt, so there's something he can help him with. And he tells him, right off the bat, the first thing he wants to take care of is figuring out who hired him. Now, hoping Batman would recognize her because she seems to be the blue blood type, Batman doesn't seem to know who she is right offhand. But neither does Jim Gordon, and that's what makes her suspicious, because there seems to be no sign of who she is or where she comes from. It's just dead end after dead end after dead end. And so if he's going to be sitting here hunting the boogeyman for them, he needs to know who these people are, and who better to investigate them than Batman himself. And then the next thing he wants is all the information that he has. he wants access to the Bat computers because he wants all files on Joker, contacts, former gang members, any international villains he's ever aligned himself with, any aliases he may be going in. And Batman agrees to all of this, but Jim tells him, listen, I'm not done yet. And I also need to be able to reach you. I need your personal phone number. Using a makeshift bat signal just isn't going to catch his attention when he's in Central America or wherever this road may take him. And he knows Joker better than anyone, so if he needs some insight, he needs a way to be able to get in contact with him. And so Batman agrees. Batman has his own terms though. His terms are that when he finally catches up to Joker, that he calls Batman and has Batman help him capture the Joker. And Jim's like, all right, well, that makes sense to me. And the last thing that Batman requires is that he's going to be giving him a chaperone. He's going to be having Oracle help him along the way. And this is when Oracle chimes in. And her first response is that, I want to put it on the record that this is a stupid idea and Commissioner Gordon is going to get himself killed. And she also points out that Jim Gordon didn't promise that he would let Batman know where the Joker is. He just said that it made sense to him. Now, this puts Jim Gordon in a little bit of a pickle. He could come clean about everything right now, or he could play a card that he has up his sleeves, and he has had up his sleeves for years now. And he decides, why not? Let's play that card. And so he asks Oracle, are you just worried about your old man? And Batman, Oracle, both look completely just shocked. And Jim Gordon can't help but smirk and watches as Batman's wheels turn as he tries to figure out how long Jim has known about this. And without saying anything else, Oracle tells Jim to meet her at the clock tower. Now, this is where we pick up in South America, and we have a crap ton of Jeeps making their way down a dirt road full of armed guards carrying the passenger known as Desmond. And he's arrived because Joker has literally just murdered an entire family. Now, the thing about these guys are they're like an international crime syndicate, if you will. And they have little safe houses all over the world. And they've been jumping Joker from one safe house to another to be able to keep him off the radar until things cool down a little bit. But the issue is, this isn't one of the safe houses. This is actually one of the richest neighbors in the whole neighborhood. Not only that, but this isn't going to be something that is easily made gone away, that they can make easily disappear. And so Desmond tells him, Joker, you have to leave. Like, we can still protect you, we can still house you, but you need to leave the country immediately. And this is where Joker tells him no. Like, I don't think I'm going to be leaving. I think we're going to be going with the third option. Because if you've seen the news, you know that they are on their way. Now, Desmond, he's a little bit confused. He doesn't know who they are. But Joker says that he has his suspicions, but he doesn't want to spoil the big surprise. But needless to say, the attack on Arkham has really rubbed some powerful people the wrong way. And now the war is coming to their doorsteps. And so the location that he is currently chosen is a good vantage point. They have the high ground, they can see people coming from miles away because there's only one road in. Tactically, they do have the advantage here. And so he asked Desmond for like 20 or 30 men because he wants to set up an ambush for anybody that even thinks about coming up that road. Now, picking up at the clock tower, Jim arrives and he's meted by Barbara. And he's trying to be kind. He brought her some hot chocolate. That's her favorite thing. Has been since she was a kid. He's really just trying to earn a little bit of sympathy here. And she asked him, like, how did you know? But for Jim, like, he knows his daughter. It doesn't matter what costume she's wearing or how she digitally alters her voice. He knows when it's his daughter. He knows that she was at once Batgirl and was once Oracle, or at least now it seems like she might be Oracle, but she's still confused on exactly what she's doing. The implant in her spine is only going to go so far. Now, it may be able to go further as technology advances, but as it stands, her implant only has so many days left on it before she's not going to be able to do any kind of Batgirl activity whatsoever. And what this conversation really boils down to is Jim Gordon getting to that edge. He's starting to get to that edge where he's about to break because he's ready to do what is needed to be done. He hears Joker laughing at him every single night. He can hear him right this second. And it eats away at him every single day. You know, he has taken so much from them. And this is where he tells her, you know, that woman didn't ask me to bring Joker back alive. She asked me to kill him. Now, this is something that he didn't share with Batman, and he doesn't want to be shared with Batman. He wants to keep this between them two because he's considering it. But he tells her he's not only considering it, he's really made up his mind at this point. He's going to do it. You know, for years now, they have constantly just locked Joker away, and it's done them no good. They have still lost people. They've been hurt, they've been damaged, they've been broken as a family. And as long as Barbara is still alive, she was always going to be a target for Joker. And Jim Gordon, he can't handle that. He cannot deal with that, and he won't. And so he wants to put a stop to it once and for all. But he makes a deal with Barbara and tells her that he'll only go through with it if he can't convince her that it's the right thing to do. If he can't convince her of that, then they'll play it Batman's way. And this is where she gives him a satellite phone. A satellite phone that's invisible to all cellular networks and works directly with Batman's own private satellite system. Now it's going to give him a direct link to Oracle, who then in turn can get in contact with Batman. It's also going to give him access to all of the Batcomputer files. Now if he loses this phone or he doesn't contact her within 24 hours, this phone will self-destruct. And this is where Oracle really warns him. You know, this woman you met with, she surely has ties to Arkham herself, but I'm sure that she is just the beginning. The road you're going down is going to be extremely dangerous because the criminal underworld, it doesn't have rules. It doesn't have the regular standards, but it does have norms. You don't kill other captured members of the underground unless they have wronged you. This attack means Joker is going to be targeted for retaliation, and the people coming are not going to care who is in the crossfires. And this is where we pick up in Hooper County, Texas. And we see the Sampson family. Now, right now, they're having a meeting because everybody is PO'd right now. Billy Sampson was killed. He had been locked away 30 years ago in Arkham Asylum. And when Joker made his attack, Billy died in his sleep. Obviously, seeing this as a huge sign of dishonor, they're vowing vengeance upon the Joker. And this is when we pick up with our Bane zealots. And we see the woman that was in a test tube come out, dripping and naked, putting on a Bane mask, and asked who her enemy is. She replies, the Joker. So it looks like we may be seeing the rebirth of a new Bane here. And then as we get to the last page of this issue, we see the young blonde woman who had offered Jim Gordon all of that money meeting at the Court of Owls. And that the court telling her that she's done good work, revealing her last name to be Clark, saying that her family name has finally been cleared in the ledgers, and that she will be retaking her family seat on the council, because it looks like the Court of Owls now have a vendetta against the Joker. Now, this is where we jump into some Punchline. Picking up at Blackgate Penitentiary, we have the Queen of Spades, who really just got her butt rocked by Punchline. And obviously, seeing this as a huge sign of disrespect, she's vowing some kind of vengeance against her. And this is where she tells her goonies that they need some bigger muscle to call the people on the outside and arrange a parole violation because it's time to bring in the heavy guns. And then in the next panel, we see Punchline all over TikTok. And it's really a little bit of everything, from criticism to cheering her on to just pure dislike. But what's all connecting here and what Bluebird and them are finding is that there's one individual that continuously gets mentioned. Somebody that she spent a lot of time with during high school who may actually know more about her. And this is where we're taken to Snyder College. And we have a guy with long black hair, you know, kind of looking like a bad boy type, and he's breaking into the school. But before he's able to break in, Bluebird comes out of left field and immediately just starts badgering him for information about Punchline. And he tells Bluebird, you know, I don't know anything about Punchline. You know, I know who Alexis is, which is, you know, that's Punchline's real name. But the person she's become, he knows nothing about. And he takes her downstairs into this room where it's just filled with Joker stuff. And he tells her, you know, this is everything I know about Alexis K. Now, picking back up at the penitentiary, we see everybody out in the yard, and the tension's really building here. You know, we see the Queen of Spades, you know, really getting mad, just watching her, just eyeballing her, just really upset to the fact that she's even out here and acting like an attack isn't about to hit her. But this is when we see our big guns come in. This is when we see the heavy muscle. This is when we see our enforcer arrive, and that arrives in the form of Orca. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. There is a lot to freaking unpack in this issue. I really am enjoying the Jim Gordon line that's going on here. You know, because at the end of the day, that's what's happening. This is a Jim Gordon reaching his breaking point and ready to put a bullet in the head of the Joker, which I say it's about time. You know, how much the Joker has taken from him, how much he has hurt his family. You can only expect a man to go so far before he finally breaks and accepts something like this, especially when you're talking about $25 million, an unlimited budget, and you get to kill the man who wreaked havoc on your entire family. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, hit that sub button and hit that notification bell. Make sure you're not missing any of the content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.